Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to another one-pack rip here on Vintage Sports Hut. Today we'll be doing a vintage rip of 1983 Fleer, and I'll tell you more about why in just a few moments. Of course, we did our live box break on Christmas Eve. Got a couple of my favorite cards from that break that no one ended up with because they didn't purchase any of those teams. My favorite has to be this Gretzky. This Gretzky is just so sweet. It's so well centered, nice and clean, and that Nolan Ryan next to it is probably my second favorite from the baseball hockey break that we did on Christmas Eve. But I do want to get into this 1983 Fleer pack of baseball cards. This was the year that I started collecting. My grandmother actually turned me on to baseball cards. I remember buying a pack at a grocery store and just becoming absolutely hooked, wanting to always rip more wax, as it were. I really liked Fleer, though, because it didn't include the bubble gum. So there was no staining on the cards. There was no danger of a card being damaged by the gum, so on and so forth. So Fleer, although it had some, it was technically considered a second-tier product at the time, and had some very serious centering issues. It was probably my favorite brand of cards. I wasn't a huge fan of Topps. Obviously, it was the number one, and probably still is to this day. But it was one of my favorite sets, this 1983 set. So what we're looking for in here is the big three rookies: Tony Gwynn, Wade Boggs, who was one of my favorite all-time players, and of course Ryne Sandberg, who's a hometown hero since I'm from the Chicagoland area and I bleed Cubby Blue. So this is a value pack. It has 2 logo stickers in there and 28 cards. On the front, we see that we have, I think that's Joe Simpson with the Seattle Mariners. Look at that Mariners uni from back then. And then on the back, we have Dave Parker with the Pirates. And so we'll get into this in just a second here. As you can see, this is a sealed pack. I believe I got it from it was either Dave and Adams or the Baseball Card Exchange. I think it was Baseball Card Exchange. $15 for a single pack that back then probably cost, I don't know, less than $1. I'm guessing probably a quarter. Maybe 50 cents. Fleer was a little bit more expensive than Topps. But I'm hoping that we find some of the good ones in here. We'll go through this nice and slow. This rip is in memory of my grandmother. And so hopefully we'll find some fire inside a pack of 1983 Fleer. Not holding out too much hope on that, but one can always hope that we get a nicely centered Sandberg or Boggs or Gwynn in here. And that'll make the $15 pack all the more worth it. But this will just be a fun rip to see if we can find anything exciting in here. All right, so without further ado, let's very carefully find the edges of this cello pack. Don't want to do any damage to Dave Parker back there. There we go. Got it. Okay. Doesn't seem like it was resealed, although it was pretty easy to get open. I did like the cellos because the wax packs could also stain the cards. The cellos, you don't have any risk of that happening. Whew, I'm shaking a little bit, believe it or not. All right, so we've got a very nicely centered Joe Simpson there. It might be a little off left to right. It's hard to tell. Hard to tell. Come on now, focus for me. See if we can get a good focus on Joe Simpson. There we go. Okay, cool. So we've got Joe Simpson as our first card. Our next card is Phil Garner. These are very nicely centered, so let's hope that we get one of the big names out of here. Phil Garner with the Houston Astros. We've got a Houston Astros pack. There's Kiko Garcia. That one's a little off center. These could have some serious issues with centering. Often miscut, but a fun card set nonetheless. So there's the back of Kiko Garcia's card. His rookie year was obviously in '76. I always like the fact that they had these fun little trivia questions on the back as well as all their stats. So he had a combined 335 in the 1979 World Series and American League Championship Series. There's some fun trivia for you and your friends on this day after Christmas. Next up, we have Richie Hebner of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Photography on these was not very action-oriented for the most part. Lots of headshots and posed stand-ins. We've got a Lenny Fadeau, who is a shortstop for the Minnesota Twins, and I just love these old-school logos, don't you? Oh, there's a nice Cecil Cooper. Unfortunately, very off-center. Very much thicker on the left than on the right. Hard to tell about top and bottom centering on these because you got more space down here for the name and the position of the player. But there's a nice Cecil Cooper. There's a Mike Squires. That one's pretty well centered. Oh, I thought we had a Carlton Fisk there for just a second, but it's Jerry Hairston of the White Sox. Collation was never so great on these old packs. We've got Tim Wallach, third baseman for the Montreal Expos. Don Hood, who is a pitcher for the Royals. We've got a Met card coming up here, Brian Giles. And Tim Foley, shortstop for the Angels. One more card before we get to our stickers. Another Angel, it's Fred Lynn, who had a stellar career. Oh, there's another one behind it. Started off in '74, so played a very long time in baseball. It's one of the nice things about baseball players. They do tend to have much longer careers as long as they're talented than a football player or a basketball player because of all the injuries that basketball players and football players sustain, right? We've got a Steve Howe, very off-centered Steve Howe there with the Dodgers. Our stickers, I love these stickers. I wish I had like sets of these. I really do. Our stickers are the Pirates. And sometimes you got a quad sticker, but not this time. This is the Cincinnati Reds. So those are some fun little stickers there. We've got a Padres checklist. Woohoo! Also off-centered. But there's Tony Gwynn, 360. Let's hope we find Tony in here. Maybe it's an omen. We'll have to see. See if it's a good sign or a bad sign. Don Slaught, who I always wanted to call Don Slaughter for some reason. Catcher for the Kansas City Royals. Ooh, I see the top left of a card that looks very familiar. Whew, let's hope. There's hope. Hal McRae, very off-centered Hal McRae, unfortunately. With the Royals. Okay, we've got a Padre coming up. It's a catcher. It's Terry Kennedy. But, as you've noticed, the collation seems to be like two in a row of a team. So let's see if we've got another Padre. Nope, we've got an Athletic. Dan Meyer. Dan Meyer. Sitting in the bullpen there. First baseman. Or in the dugout, I mean. Sorry. We got a Pirates checklist. 2 checklists. 28 cards and 2 checklists. Go figure that one out. We got Tigers, Elias Sosa. I was hoping this one was the Ryan Sandberg card. It's not. It is a Detroit Tigers, Mike Ivey. Looks like we've got a Cardinal, Keith Hernandez. Very nice Keith Hernandez, well-centered. Don't know where this was in Keith's career. We can take a quick look here. We're going to flip that around. So Keith's rookie season was 76. But Keith Hernandez was another stellar player in Major League Baseball for a very long time. Alrighty. We're running out of cards here to hit one of the big guys. We got Craig Nettles with the Yankees. And it looks like the centering is even off on the Yankees logo there. Do you see that? There's like a white... The white circle seems to be below instead of in line with the logo. You got a Seattle Mariner. It's not looking good. Rick Sweet. Bake McBride of the Cleveland Indians. And we already knew who that back card is. It's Dave Parker, a nicely centered Dave Parker. That might be worth something. And then our last card. Let's see what we've got. We're going to slow roll it from the top. It's not Boggs. I don't think. No. And it's certainly not Gwynn. Well, that could be Nolan Ryan. That would be good. It's not. It is Len Barker. So, 28 cards and very few true stars. But that was a fun little rip and something I've been meaning to do for a very long time. 83, as I said, was the year that I got into collecting sports cards. And I've missed it. And I miss my grandma every day. She died December 26th of 1998. So I've been without her for a very long time. But she was a very special woman and someone who got me into collecting. And sometimes I'll go a little overboard with it, but I always remember where the roots of my collection are, and it's with my heart and with my grandma. So thanks for joining me on the day after Christmas. Hope you enjoyed the little rip, and I've got some more fun things coming down the line. You might see up here in the top corner, there's a logo for Powered by Melon. It's kind of an OBS for Chromebooks, and I stream off of my Chromebook. So I'm hoping that this is going to work out nicely and start to learn a little bit more about Melon. There's another one as well that's out there that I want to check out. And so you'll see a couple of different logos up in that top corner before I start paying for something. But got some fun stuff coming up. Got some interesting boxes that I might put up on eBay in the coming days. So keep an eye out for that. As you see on the ticker below, you can find our eBay sales at vintagesportshut_com. And we're also going to be posting more on Instagram soon. I've been lax in doing that, but I really need to start marketing our channel here and doing that through Instagram. All right, thanks for joining us. Have a great day, everyone. Take care of each other out there and keep ripping the wax.